Hey, coach, why all this emphasis on building a business? I just want one rental. Let's talk about it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Landlord Coach Daily Ish Show. My name is Mark Dolfini. I am the Landlord Coach and the host of the Landlord Coach Daily Ish Show. It's very good to see you all here. And yes, if you noticed, I do sound a little sick and a little nasally, and relax. It's probably not the Rona. It's probably like Ebola or malaria, something small. I don't know. Evidently, no one's allowed just to get a simple cold anymore. Anyway, I'm feeling better, but I did have a good night's sleep last night, and I definitely needed it. So thanks for your well wishes and thoughts. So why all this emphasis on building a business when you are actually maybe just wanting to get one or two rentals? And that's a really good question. I have had that question in the past, and maybe just people are looking to park their money somewhere because they don't want to put it into they don't want to put it in the stock market. They don't want to put it anywhere else. Well, I totally get that. I would still argue, though, that you need to have a system in place to just at least organize how information flows through you. Because when you become the bottleneck for information, then I'm only speaking from my perspective, is that it caused me to be very inconsistent with the quality of how I was managing my rental business, right? This is back, way before I had a property management business, way before, when I was just managing it by myself, and I was, Mark Dolfini LLC, and I definitely did not do that well. So the problem was, when I was managing them like that, I was incredibly inconsistent. And that was a big problem because I would have residents call in and I would say, oh yeah, they would tell me a maintenance issue that they had, and I might have remembered it. I might not have remembered it. If they told me whatever it was, whatever the issue was, hey, come by, pick up rent. Hey, do this or do that. Whatever it was, I was incredibly inconsistent. And there's so many ways to screw this up because there's literally a million things that can go wrong in a rental business at any one given time. And some of them are pretty severe. Some of them are pretty important. Not to mention, at the time, I also had a job. So I was stealing time away from my employer, which I refer to as undertime, when you're handling your own personal business on company time. Well, that's not ethical. You shouldn't be doing that. Now, granted, I know it's commonplace and we all try to do that stuff, and sometimes it's just unavoidable. But when you're building a business around that, about stealing time away from your employer, it's not scalable. You're not going to be able to do that forever, and you shouldn't plan on that. Again, this isn't judgment as much as it is confession, because I did that for years. And then just blamed my coworkers on not being understanding and said, well, you just don't understand how, that I want to, I'm trying to better myself, and they were jealous and whatever else. I mean, I explained it away in all sorts of nonsensical ways. The other thing is it distracts you from the things that are much more important in your life, specifically in your personal life, because when you're not operating it with a system, right? If your phone system looks like this, right? Well, you can't be upset when your residents call you at 3:00 in the morning, even though the call may be complete and total nonsense. You can't be upset with them, and I understand why. I mean, I totally get it. But at the end of the day, there I am, asleep. It's 2:30 in the morning, and one of my residents calls and says they want to renew their lease. That actually happened, by the way. So I just want you to understand that, that distracts you from your personal life when you're out trying to have dinner, when you're trying to be at a birthday party and trying to be present for that, or you're at a movie theater, or God forbid you go on an airplane, or you go and watch, a late night movie or something like that. These are all things that distract you from your life because you don't have a system in place. So again, even if it was one or two or maybe just a handful of rentals, I would still argue that you would want to be intentional about having a system in place. Many of these system things I'm talking about in the Time Wealthy Investor 2.0, if it's something you want, you can go ahead and pick it up on Amazon and Amazon.com, and make sure you get the 2.0 version, because that is the updated version, which goes through the vision infrastructure process method. The last thing is it's kind of runs hand in hand with the first two, is that you probably bought this rental property so you can advance your life, right? You want your life to be better tomorrow than it is today. So when you are having, when you're buying these properties and whatever it is, and when it starts to take away from your life, meaning when, let's say a property becomes vacant, and because you don't have any system in place to show the properties or get the properties turned, well, now you just created a, $15 or $20 an hour job for yourself. Now, I would hope that if you're investing in real estate, that you would want to have you wouldn't want to be creating a $15 or $20 an hour job for yourself, because quite frankly, you should be worth more than that. But if you got into that business, I would assume that you didn't get into that business to create a $15 job, a $15 an hour job for yourself. But many of you do. And I know I did. Hell, I was creating an $8 job, an $8 an hour job for myself when I was going and doing nonsensical stuff that I could easily have turned over to someone else. So again, you just keep those things in mind when you are either, looking to buy into rental properties, or you're looking to expand your existing portfolio, that you really do need to have a system put in place that does not involve information that flows through you, because that is a really good way to lose your damn mind. All right. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching today for the Landlord Coach Daily Show. I will see you next week. Have a great rest of your day, and please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. But most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.